Good evening. Welcome and congratulations to all of our senior award winners and their families. I'm Joseph DeGennaro, and I am so lucky to be the principal of Yorktown High School. It's an honor to be here tonight and celebrate achievement in academics, science research, leadership, character, entrepreneurship, performing arts, community service, overcoming adversity, perseverance, and so much more. Before we get started, I'd like to thank the following people and groups for their continued support of Yorktown High School and specifically the class of 2021. Our Yorktown High School administrative team, our assistant principals, Mr. Gallis, Mr. Miller, and Ms. Garrett. Our central office administrators, led by Superintendent Dr. Ron Hattar, Mrs. O'Shea, and Mr. Cole. Our Board of Education, led by President Mrs. Jackie Carbone. I want to publicly thank my incredible secretary, Mrs. Paterno, for putting tonight's event together and making it a successful and memorable event for our students and families. I must thank our faculty, our counselors, and our staff, particularly the guidance department, for their help coordinating department and school-wide awards. Mr. Moore, our master physics teacher, as well as our auditorium manager and his wonderful student tech crew. And a big thank you to you, our community groups and representatives, for your continued generosity and support of our students and their families. We realize that these are such challenging economic times, so your willingness to continue to contribute annually is appreciated so much more than you know. Thank you, parents, for sending us great students to work with and the continued support that we receive from you every day of the year. And finally, our students, the wonderful class of 2021. Congratulations for being honored tonight. About 1/3 of the graduating class is being awarded. Thank you for being you, and be sure to thank your parents for raising you in such a wonderful community, providing you the opportunity to become who you are and for giving you the resources to accomplish your goals. Make sure you thank your parents. And now it's an honor and pleasure for me to begin to recognize the talented class of 2021. We'll start with our first scholarship. The George Boudries Memorial Scholarship. This year's recipient is Kenneth Reinkraut. This award is presented to a student who is going on to further his or her education, has shown improvement academically, is involved in school and extracurricular activities, and who exemplifies the best qualities of students in the Yorktown Central School District. The Butterfly Memorial Scholarship is presented to Jacqueline Kane. This award is presented to a student who demonstrates perseverance and commitment to excellence despite any challenges they may face, who is community-minded, and who intends to continue helping those around them by pursuing a degree in nursing. The Edward V. Rohle Memorial Scholarship. This year's recipient is Anaya Seals. This award is sponsored by the PTSA and presented to a student who is genuine, caring, has a sense of humor, and willing to help anyone, no matter the circumstance. The Melissa Nigro Scholarship Award. This year's recipient is Natalie Muscolino. This award is donated by Angela Nigro and presented to a deserving student who will be pursuing further education. The Harrison Apar Field of Dreams Scholarship. Sponsored by the Harrison Apar. This year's recipient is Rebecca Gertis. This award is sponsored by the Harrison Apar Field of Dreams Foundation and presented to an outstanding senior who will be pursuing a media career. The Stacey Dilello Memorial Scholarship. Two recipients this year. They are Rolando Tercios and Nicholas Scalera. This award is donated by the Dilello family and presented to students who have experienced hardships in life, displayed courage in the face of those adversities, and seized the good in others. The Ray Rogener Trailblazer Award. Recipient, Jonathan Sika. This award is donated by Anne-Marie Rogener and presented to a student who embodies the following characteristics: hardworking, patriotic, trustworthy, loyal, honorable, respectable, and a leader. The Danielle Coletta Dedication Scholarship is presented to John Falcone Jr. and Eve Salazar. This award is presented to two graduating seniors who are motivated to achieve their personal best academically, demonstrate a strong work ethic, and exudes kindness and compassion. These students also live a purposeful life by applying their talents toward helping fellow human beings and service organizations. The Brendan M. Frail Mentor Award. This year's recipient is Chelsea LaPlaca. Sponsored by the Blossom Ridge neighborhood and presented to a student who takes a positive leadership role with the youth of the community, exhibits loyalty, friendship, and unbridled enthusiasm. The Richard Lavino Memorial Award. This year's recipient is Ashley Ziola. This award is sponsored by the Social Studies Department on behalf of current and former faculty and staff of Yorktown High School to a graduating senior going to college who works extremely hard, shows concern for others, and has an awareness of contemporary issues. The Erik E. Fiore Memorial Scholarship, presented to Nora Curinage. Sponsored by the family of Erik Fiore, who graduated from Yorktown High School. The recipient of this award is a graduating senior who is planning to continue his or her education in science or engineering and has demonstrated strong leadership qualities and a passion for learning. The Gwendolyn R. Farrell Memorial Scholarship, presented to Stephen DiPietro. Donated by the Farrell family and presented to a deserving orchestra student. The Hope for Recovery in Memory of Justin and Erik Award. This year's recipient is Juliana Miranda. Sponsored by the Drug Crisis in Our Backyard organization and presented to a senior in further study at a college or credentialing agency in the field of social work, mental health, and/or substance addiction. The John Joseph Venezia Memorial Scholarship is presented to Mark Rasiopo, awarded to a serious music student who pushes their own boundaries and shows exponential growth. This student succeeds in a selfless way, striving to have a positive effect on others by sharing their love, knowledge, and passion for music. Ruth and Michael Bello Jr. Memorial Award is presented to Timothy Kozlowski. Donated by Mrs. Diane Bello Perigine and family to a senior who has demonstrated over an extended period of time steadfast perseverance and has challenged him or herself to achieve significant academic improvement. Angela DeCicco, KJK Productions Theater Scholarship. The recipient is Liam Rothberg. Presented to a senior who has proven dedication and involvement in the community and demonstrated the mission and values of KJK Productions through good character. This student is an alumni of the KJK Productions program and will major or minor in a field of theater, arts, music, or education. The Frank Frail Citizenship Award is presented to Hannah McGovern. This award is sponsored by the District PTSA to a student for outstanding commitment to community service for children. The Donna Fitzgerald Memorial Award. This year's recipient is Shrevon Desikan, sponsored by the District PTSA and presented to a student for outstanding commitment to community service for children. The Yorktown Girl Scouts Community Service Awards. This year's recipients are Marissa Mana and Marie Lucia Salisbury, presented to graduating seniors who have dedicated their time and service to the Yorktown Girl Scouts and community. The Yorktown ESTEAM Scholarship. This year's recipient is Malachi Reynolds, donated by the Bose family and presented to a student who has successfully connected empathy to STEAM. The PCSB Bank Award. This year's recipient is Olivia Fossey, sponsored by PCSB and presented to a well-rounded student who has shown significant improvement and will be continuing his or her education. The Foundation for Excellence Danielle Coletta Memorial Scholarship. The recipients are Julia DiBenedetto and Ria Jacob. This award is presented to graduating seniors who have demonstrated commitment to community service. The Foundation for Excellence Joan Valenstein Memorial Scholarship is presented to Chelsea LaPlaca and Kevin Whiteman. This award is presented to graduating seniors who have demonstrated commitment to community service. The Alliance for Safe Kids Senior Award, presented to Kevin Whiteman and Scott Whiteman. This award is sponsored by the Alliance for Safe Kids and presented to graduating seniors who have demonstrated outstanding commitment to community service in Yorktown. The Yorktown Lions Club John A. DeVito Memorial Scholarship. This year's recipient is Jacqueline DeMarco. This award is sponsored by the Yorktown Lions Club and presented to a graduating senior demonstrating academic achievement as well as community and school service. The Yorktown Lions Club William Fryer Memorial Scholarship. This year's recipients are William Embry and Chelsea LaPlaca. This award is sponsored by the Yorktown Lions Club and presented to a graduating senior or seniors demonstrating academic achievement, community, and school service. The Yorktown Lions Club James Crinity Memorial Scholarship. This year's recipient is Alyssa Perino. This award is sponsored by the Yorktown Lions Club and presented to a graduating senior demonstrating academic achievement as well as community and school service. The Yorktown Lions Club John Lenahan Memorial Scholarship is presented to Ethan Andrews. This award is sponsored by the Yorktown Lions Club and presented to a graduating senior demonstrating academic achievement, community, and school service. The Yorktown Lions Club Marvin and Susan Raskin Scholarship. This year's recipient is Adeline Aranio. This award is sponsored by the Yorktown Lions Club and presented to a graduating senior who has overcome obstacles, improved academically, and who will be pursuing further education. The Yorktown Stage Jenna's Dream Performing Arts Scholarship. The recipients are Jacqueline DeMarco, Jenna Mastro, Emma Rubenstein, and Alyssa Treola. This award is presented to students who are planning to continue their education in a performing arts program. The Ronald Hattar Leadership Award is presented to Dylan Beck. This award is presented to a student who consistently demonstrates and models ethical leadership through his or her position on a club, team, or organization. This student is viewed as a leader by the administration, faculty, staff, and student body. This student leads with intelligence, integrity, kindness, and empathy. The Lisa O'Shea Service Award is presented to Grace Tian. This award is presented to a student who demonstrates an interest in learning, leadership by example, and a strong moral character through the service of others. This student has the drive, skills, and values needed to be compassionate, competent, and a contributing citizen. The Thomas Cole Character Award is presented to Asha Roth. This award is presented to a student whose actions and deeds reflect positively on Yorktown High School and the surrounding Yorktown community. Through thoughtful interaction with classmates, teachers, coaches, and parents, this individual exhibits the characteristics of a true ambassador to our schools. The Yorktown Elks Lodge Tom Pavlich Scholarship. The recipients are Sean Capshaw, Timothy Kozlowski, and Anthony Venditti. This award is sponsored by the Yorktown Elks Club and presented to a deserving student for their service to school and community. The Yorktown Democratic Committee Scholarship is presented to Marco Landesino. This award is presented to a deserving student. The Pied Piper School Education Scholarship. This year's recipient is Natalie Muscolino. This award is sponsored by Pied Piper and presented to a graduating senior who personifies Pied Piper's outstanding qualities of kindness, respect for individual needs, and who is planning a career in the education field. The Mazzella Family Foundation Academic Award. The recipients are Kylie Crisp and Christian Delig. This award is presented to two graduating seniors who are kind and caring, have demonstrated resiliency, and who have managed to persevere despite extenuating circumstances. The Yorktown District Council of PTSA Service Awards. The recipients are Jacqueline DeMarco, Brookside, Stephen DiPietro, Crampon, Eliza Garofalo, Mohansick, Natalie Muscolino, Mildred Eastrang Middle School, and Lauren Kitts, Yorktown High School. These awards are sponsored by the Yorktown District Council PTSA and presented to students who have volunteered their time to help fellow students within the schools of the district. The Yorktown High School PTSA Yorktown Husker Award is presented to Jack Capolini. Sponsored by the Yorktown High School PTSA and presented to a deserving student in recognition of their persistence in the pursuit of academic excellence. The Yorktown High School PTSA Department Awards. The recipients are Laura Ciarcia, Art, Mark Rasiopo, Band, William Embry, Business, Daniel Graff, Chorus, Kunal Mohindra, English, Salomia Demas, ESL, Kira Flattery, Health, Nicholas Filippone, Italian, Grace Tian, Math, Asha Rath, Orchestra, Jewel Richardson, Physical Education, Dylan Beck, Science, David Dejanovic, Social Studies, and Jared Favor in Spanish. These awards are sponsored by the Yorktown High School PTSA and presented to a deserving student in recognition for their perseverance and commitment to their academic endeavors. The Kaleidoscope Award. This year's recipients are Austin Pizzello and Michael Scanlon. These awards are sponsored by the Yorktown SEPTA and presented to two graduating seniors who will be attending post-secondary education who have risen above challenges, show dedication to their education, and will continue to strive to be productive members of the community. The Yorktown High School Administrators Award. This year's recipients are Keith Boyer and Evan Makar. This award is sponsored by the Yorktown High School PTSA and presented to students who exemplify the character and values of Yorktown High School. The Yorktown Congress of Teachers Harriet Baptiste Memorial Scholarship is presented to Gia Tropia. This award is sponsored by the Yorktown Congress of Teachers and presented to a student who has demonstrated school service and who plans to further his or her education. The Yorktown Congress of Teachers Irene Anderman Memorial Scholarship. This year's recipient is Natalie Muscolino. This award is sponsored by the Yorktown Congress of Teachers and presented to a student who has demonstrated academic achievement, community service, and commitment to education. The Yorktown Congress of Teachers Scholarship. This year's recipient is Patrick Ryan. This award is sponsored by the Yorktown Congress of Teachers and presented to a student who has achieved scholarship and has contributed to the schooling community. The Yorktown Congress of Teachers Community Service Award is presented to Emily Statler. This award is sponsored by the Yorktown Congress of Teachers and presented to a student who volunteers his or her time and energy to helping make a difference in our community. The Yorktown Congress of Teachers Essay Scholarship is presented to Rhea Jacob, Alyssa Statler, and Haley Teachout. This award is sponsored by the Yorktown Congress of Teachers and presented to 3 students who wrote essays describing the most influential person in the Yorktown K-12 school community that has impacted their lives in a positive way. The Westchester County Board of Legislators Student Citizen of the Year Award is presented to Rohan Jacob. This award is presented to a student who has demonstrated interest in current affairs and citizenship qualities. To Emma Connolly and Rebecca Gertis. This award is donated by the Stanley family and presented to students for their excellence in journalistic integrity. The National Honor Society Scholarship Academic Award is presented to Jenna Grutzmacher. This award is presented to a student in the National Honor Society Scholarship Program for his or her outstanding scholarship, character, leadership, and service. The National Honor Society Activity Award is presented to Christian Delig and Kevin Whiteman. This award is presented to students for his or her participation and leadership in the National Honor Society here at Yorktown High School. The Marcia Lubell Memorial Scholarship is presented to David Dujanovic, given by the English Department and presented to a student who has demonstrated excellence in English. The Writing Center Peer Tutor Award. This year's recipients are Dylan Beck, Jacqueline Kniesel, and Marco Landicino. This award is given by the English Department and presented to deserving students who have volunteered outstanding service and leadership to the Yorktown High School Writing Center for at least 2 years. The YHS Music Department Awards. Recipients are Michael Benvenga, Band, Anaya Seals, Band, Stephen Rojas Orozco, Chorus, and Grace Tion, Orchestra. These awards are given by our music department and presented to deserving students. The First Nighter Awards. The recipients are Colin McCarthy, Band, Alicia Menduni, Band, Jack Howard, Chorus, Stephen Rojas Orozco, Chorus, Faith Pyle, Drama, Malachi Reynolds, Drama, Daniel Graff, Musical, Giovanna Phipps, Musical, Nora Curinage, Orchestra, Marie Lucia Salisbury, Orchestra, Emma Rubenstein, Dance, Emily Statler, Dance, and Celia Nash, Tech Crew. These awards are sponsored by the First Nighters and presented to students for their achievement in the performing arts. The Circolo Da Vinci Award. This year's recipient is Scott Whiteman. This award is presented to an outstanding senior for his or her excellence in the study of the Italian language. The Yorktown Police Benevolent Association Award. This year's recipients are Michaela Murphy and Nicole Peters. This award is presented to seniors who have demonstrated citizenship, service, and concern for others throughout high school. The American Association of University Women Outstanding Student Awards. This year's recipients are Marie Ducey and Kira Flattery. This award is presented to seniors who have demonstrated service to their school and academic ability. The Richard Delaney Memorial Scholarship is presented to Austin Pichat. This award is presented to a student who has volunteered service to the community or school and who has participated in extracurricular activities. The Triple C Award. This year's recipients are Ethan Andrews and Nazir Harris. This award is presented to students for displaying character, courage, and commitment. The Christopher Giuntini Memorial Scholarship is presented to Catherine Mooney. This award is presented to a graduating senior who has made an exceptional contribution to the school in law-related activities. The Club Fit Premium College Membership. This year's recipient is Chase Bono. This award is presented to a senior who has exemplified a healthy lifestyle and is a helpful citizen in the community. The New York State Comptroller Achievement Award. This year's recipients are Hazik Ahmad, Kaylani Quills, Eve Salazar, and Brett Warden. This award is presented to students who have demonstrated leadership, potential, and a commitment to public service. The Congressman Mondaire Jones Community Service Award is presented to Liam Rothberg. This award is presented to a deserving student who has demonstrated outstanding and invaluable service in the community. The Honeydew Men Gutters and Roofing Entrepreneurial Scholarship. This year's recipient is Ruslan Semenko. This award is presented to a senior who has demonstrated the entrepreneurial spirit, pride, and service to our community. The Class of 2020 COVID-19 Scholarship. This year's recipients are Christian Delig, Avery Hansen, and Elena Ornstein. This award is presented to seniors of the Class of 2021 for their outstanding perseverance and dedication. And again, it was donated by the Class of 2020. That concludes our awards, scholarships, recognition, and celebration of the Class of 2021. In closing, I'd like to congratulate our award recipients. Your actual awards could be picked up in my office, which is room 110, after June 3rd. You could see Mrs. Raniolo or Mrs. Paterno there to pick up your awards, as well as a keepsake program that we had created for this evening's event. So stop by there after June 3rd or June 4th. I truly look forward to continuing to celebrate the Class of 2021 at the remaining upcoming events. I'm thankful that we're going to be able to do them in a more traditional manner for some of the events at the end of the year. And so I do look forward to that and celebrate and honoring our talented students. Thank you for viewing our Senior Awards Night.